Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn what is an if-else statement. So in the previous tutorial we have already learnt about what an if conditional statement is and how it is used to take a certain decision. Now the if-else statement is similar to that of the if statement but with a slight bit of variation. So in this tutorial what we are going to do is that we are going to create a basic program which usually accepts the marks of the student, and depending upon the marks obtained by the student, it is going to decide if the student has passed the test or has he failed the test. So let's go ahead and create a variable called marks, and let's assign the value of marks to be, let's say, 70 out of 100, and now let's say the passing marks are 35. So basic condition which we want to check is the marks should always be greater than 35 if the student has to pass. So we go ahead and create the if statement, and we check the condition that if marks are greater than or equal to 35, then we want to display that the student has passed. So we go ahead and type document dot write, and we display that the student has been passed. So we type the student has passed the test. Now what if the student has scored less than 35 marks? Now if we want to handle that situation, so in order to do that we use the else statement. So right after the if statement we are going to have the else statement, and what this else statement is going to do is that it is going to check if this condition gets satisfied, and if it is satisfied then this code is going to get executed. But if the condition here fails, then the code inside the else is going to get executed. Now what if the student scores let's say marks which are less than 35? Then obviously the student has failed the test. So in that case, in the else statement we want to display that the student has failed the test. So we go ahead and create the code for it. So we type document dot write, and we say that the student has failed the test. So now once we have everything in place, we simply go ahead and save the code and we execute it. So as you could see, it is going to display as this text that the student has passed the test, and that is because the marks scored by the student are given to be 70. Now let's go ahead and let's give the marks as, let's say, 23. And now if you save the code and execute it, you are going to get the result as the student has failed the test. So basically what this program does is that initially we are going to store the value of 23 into marks. Now this if condition is going to check that if marks are greater than 35, and in this case the marks are not greater than or equal to 35 because 23 is not greater than or equal to 35. So this condition right here is not going to get satisfied, and therefore it is not going to go through this code. Instead it will jump onto this code written in the else statement and it is going to print the code. Now what if we replace this by, let's say, 73? Now when we give the value of marks to be 73, then definitely 73 is greater than or equal to 35. So as this condition gets satisfied, the code over here is going to get executed and this code right here is going to get ignored. So that's why we use a else statement. So if we want to execute a set of code when the condition gets false or if the condition is not satisfied, in that case we use the else statement. So that's what a else statement is, and you always remember that you always use the else statement right after you end the if statement. So that's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.